Thanks for tuning in to Unbreakable with Chris Chamasiros. I talk about politics, sports, and entertainment to keep you well-rounded. What's going on around the world? If you don't like hearing the truth, definitely don't tune into this channel. So let's get started today. So Shedeur Sanders, he's going to start in the preseason game coming up this weekend versus the Panthers. And I just want to talk about Shedeur Sanders for a minute. You know, when I looked at his game tape going into the draft, especially against the BYU game, let's talk about the BYU game. He played absolutely horrible. BYU didn't have one NFL player drafted. They didn't have one NFL player on their roster. Then the reports came out that Shedeur took his team to a strip club for 2 days, and that's why the team played poorly. Now, I truly believe that is the main reason why Shedeur Sanders slipped in the draft. If you look at Tom Brady, his best piece of work ever in college football was his last game he ever played against Alabama. It's one of the greatest games I've ever seen in my life. Let's say hypothetically Shedeur Sanders comes out, throws for 400 yards, 4 touchdowns, wins the MVP of the bowl game. Don't you think this turns into something different, meaning where he got drafted? Now, I don't think he was going to be a first-round draft pick, but don't you think he would have got drafted higher? So all these excuses that people are making for Shedeur slipping in the draft, it's just like, oh, the NFL doesn't like to see confident black men and all this other garbage. It's just garbage. But I want to get to the positive stuff because I don't want to seem like I'm bringing up what I already brought up. So far, I have loved what I've seen from Shedeur Sanders. I love every second of it. This is the stuff. What he's going through right now are what legends go through. Could Shedeur Sanders be the next Tom Brady story? Absolutely. Look at Tom Brady. He was only getting 5, 6, 7 snaps. Shedeur, the same thing. He has to make the most of every opportunity. I love that Shedeur Sanders has not complained once. And during all of his interviews, it's genuine. Hey, man, I'm here. I'm going to do what I got to do. I'm going to work my way up. Doesn't pout, doesn't cry, doesn't complain, doesn't make excuses. I love how Shedeur Sanders has handled this entire process. This hasn't been an easy process for Shedeur Sanders. Remember, he's really thinking he's going in the first round. So he slips in the draft. His dad obviously isn't coaching him. It's the first time he's really got to compete and fight for a job. His father's sick. Everything's going wrong. All types of pressures mounting. Fine, we all know he's making money. Making money makes things easier, obviously. But as far as football, for the first time in his life, he's fighting for his football life. Now, I'm not going to get into all the highlights. Some days whatever. Because people, I don't know what to believe at this point because I'm not at Cleveland Browns practice. But if he's starting this weekend against the Panthers, he's obviously doing something right, correct? Now, they only play the backups. The bottom line is he's playing. It's an opportunity. It's a window. It's a door open for Shedeur to say, you know what? I belong here. I should be the first. I should be quarterback number 1. This is the type of stuff that makes legends. This is the type of stuff that makes NFL history. These are the types of storylines where if Shedeur is that guy and he is the next Tom Brady, this is going to be a remarkable story. Now, I'm a Pittsburgh Steelers fan. I love the Steelers. But guess what? Do I want to see Shedeur Sanders be that guy for the Browns? Absolutely. You know why? When I go to a Steelers game, I want the hottest ticket in town to be against the Cleveland Browns. Shedeur Sanders and the Cleveland Browns are coming to Acrisure Stadium to take on the Pittsburgh Steelers with TJ Watt leading the way. The amount of attention and intensity in the building to watch that game would be tremendous. I want Shedeur Sanders to be that guy. I can't, you say, oh, you're contradicting yourself. Listen, what I saw on the tape, the game tape, I can't lose credibility and lie just because I like him or I like his dad. The game tape was not that great on Shedeur Sanders. I don't want to hear about his stats. Everybody gets into that. His last piece of work and the year before, they lost 8 games to end the season. He didn't play in one major college bowl game. They lost 4 or 5 games in that conference when Shedeur was a senior. They had 4 guys drafted to the NFL on offense, 3 or 4. Most teams don't even have 1. You know how many players on defense in that conference got drafted to the NFL? A total of 8. And none of them were on BYU. Shedeur's last game. So it's not that I don't, you're like, oh, you don't like Shedeur, you're a Shedeur hater, confident black, but just stop. I looked at the game film with a level head, fair, and I'm like, this is not equating to a first round pick. Now, I think a lot of Shedeur Sanders' poor habits are because his father coached him, swaying in and out of the pocket, holding on to the ball too long. I believe this is, right now in the Browns camp, is the best coaching Shedeur Sanders has ever got in his career. You can argue with me all day. I truly believe it. The coaching, the way he's being coached right now is the best that Shedeur Sanders has ever been coached. Is the talent there? Yes. Is the ability there? Yes. But what's the big question? Is Shedeur Sanders going to dedicate his life, and that's what it takes. It's not just 2 hours, 3 hours. Is Shedeur Sanders going to dedicate his life to becoming an elite quarterback, to being the next Tom Brady? It's a big if. You know, the speeding tickets thing, whatever. It's speeding tickets. It's not a good look. When you're a 5th round pick, you need to be doing everything right to stay on the roster. Fine, he's working in the community. I get all that. But you don't need those speeding tickets. Don't give them excuses. Don't give them reasons. You think the scouts don't know about the strip club visit 2 days before for 2 days with the BYU game? But I want Shedeur to be that guy. I want him to be that. I want him to be Tom Brady. I want him to be that story. It's just good for the NFL, and it's great for me as a Steelers fan. Oh, wow, we got the Browns coming to town this week. It's going to be exciting. So Shedeur Sanders is going to start this weekend versus the Panthers. Let's listen to what ESPN has to say.
On record saying he didn't want Prime to come to practice because he wasn't doing that much. He wasn't getting those many reps. This is the opportunity that he has now to be fully in command of an offense. And this is critical. Like if we see a step up, if he starts getting one step above his reps that he's been getting, if his positional value moves up, it'll be based on how he performs in this preseason game. It may be a blessing in disguise for Shedeur Sanders, who needs to have the football so he can show people what he is and what he can be for this franchise. I think this is a bigger deal than just starting a preseason game for a 5th round pick. Not because it's Shedeur Sanders, but because we don't know what the 2 guys that are dealing with the hamstrings are either. This is not clear cut about who the backup will be for all intents and purposes. You would think Kenny Pickett because of the experience, but this is a vital situation that Shedeur has and almost an opportunity for him to move up in that depth chart just by default based on the performance in a week 1 preseason game.
Right. This is job security, right? They're not going to hang on to all of these guys once the season starts.
It's a big deal, man.
It is.
You know, it just shows you that Shedeur's locked in. He's going through a lot of stress right now. Obviously, his father's sick, has serious illness with the cancer, doesn't want his dad to show up in practice, doesn't want the attention to go to Dion and make us skeptical. I love the entire... I was not expecting Shedeur Sanders to handle this situation as good as he has. He's handled this like a complete pro. And I'm not going to lie, it's going to be exciting to tune in Saturday night to see, I think it's Saturday, whatever day it's on versus the Panthers, to watch him and to see if he's that. I want to see that. It makes the league better. Again, as a Steelers fan, I want him to be Tom Brady. I want him to be that guy. But I can't lose all credibility when I watch the game tape and I'm like, hey, it's not there. And his college tape was not that good. Again, I think this is the best coaching that Shedeur Sanders has ever gotten in his career with the Cleveland Browns coaching staff. I know I'm going to take plenty of heat for that. Oh, look how many. Listen, those are business decisions. Getting rid of Baker Mayfield, doing the things that they did. Those are Deshaun Watson. I mean, it doesn't mean that those coaches can't coach. They might make bad decisions who to keep on a roster. But as far as actual coaching, 3-step drop, how to play the quarterback position, in Shedeur Sanders' life, this is the best coaching he's ever received. Oh, and Tom Brady did work with him. Now, that's another big question. Tom Brady, I don't know how much they work together, but Tom Brady did work with him. Tom Brady had a chance to draft him. He chose not to. And I really believe that's not a matter of talent. I believe that's a matter of where Shedeur's head's at. They all have talent. All these guys have talent. They all throw the football. You know, they wouldn't have made it this far. When you get to that level, it's not just about your talent or throwing a football. It's how committed you are to becoming the next Tom Brady. Are you willing to die for it? Like literally, you got to be willing to die for it. People, oh, that's a bit extreme. That's the reality of it. If you don't eat it, sleep it, breathe it, you're not going to make it in the NFL as a quarterback. And that's the big question with Shedeur. Do I want Shedeur to be that guy? Yes, I do. And with that being said, thanks for tuning in to Unbreakable with Chris Chamasaros.